Microsoft sucks at everything. Let's see what the new Nakey Jakey is about. He's somehow reacting to his own video being uploaded in the video.
So maybe that title is a bit hyperbolic, but just hear me out, okay? Apple, Amazon, Meta, Google. Out of all of the soulless billion-dollar tech corporations that run our daily lives, Microsoft easily annoys me the most. Apple is definitely gonna gouge my eyes out with their ridiculous pricing, but hey, at least I can rely on their products to actually function properly during my daily life. Amazon is run by what appears to be a literal real-life human supervillain and has definitely negatively impacted our consumerist, materialist culture of buy. But you're telling me this HDMI cord could be inside of my body in 20 minutes? Yeah, Bezos. Google is perfect, not evil at all. Please let me keep making my silly programs. I love you, mama. I'll be so sweet to you. And Meta. Okay, I might actually hate Meta the most, but at least on Instagram I could.
I was gonna say, I think Meta's worse than Microsoft. Meta is a net bad for the. I think if Meta were gone, everyone's life would get better. Like if Google disappeared, that'd be annoying, you know? It would, like, a lot of things would get, I got a lot of stuff in Gmail that I want, you know, I got YouTube, it would get replaced, but it's annoying. But like, I think the world would be net improved without Meta, even if it would eventually all get replaced because our brains are easily hacked.
Could send that one reel of the Monster Energy tattoo guys to my friends over and over and over. I mean, hell. But Microsoft, like, where do I even begin? Internet Explorer? Internet Explorer 2, the edging, Windows Vista, Windows 8, Windows Surface, Windows Phone, games for Windows Live, Xbox 360 Red Ring of Death, Xbox Connect, Xbox One, Xbox One S, Xbox One X, Xbox Series S, Xbox Series X, Xbox One Series X.
It was such a fucking stupid naming scheme.
Xbox Series X.
This is such a stupid naming scheme. I can't. God, what fucking consultant did they hire for this stupid fucking... Dude, it's so funny. You know why this happened? Just to be clear, is because they ran a fucking consumer test that showed if there was like a Xbox 3 and a PS5, people would think the higher number is better. So they said, fuck, we'll just go off the goddamn rails. There could have been, there's just so many ways you could have done this. And the Series S and X is so stupid. 1S, 1X. 360 was honestly stupid. The whole concept was, they should have had just the balls to do it with numbers from the beginning and just say, fuck you. And it would have been classy by now. You would have been at the point where people would get it.
Xbox One Series S.
Or, here's what you could have done. This would have been fucking crazy enough to work. Just jump the number ahead. Just say the Xbox 7. Like for the 360, just say this is the Xbox 7 now. It's the 7. And the next one's the 8. Just jump. Just jump ahead. And then you can go right in order. And now it's the Xbox 10. We're just there. It worked for Apple? Yeah, fucking just jump. Everyone's going to clown on you in the beginning, and then they're going to get used to it, and then there's going to be the bigger number. That would have been the ballsy smart play. Instead, you fucked it up, and now it's completely unintelligible.
Xbox Series S, Xbox Series X, Xbox One Series S, Xbox Stroke. Am I having one right now? How the fuck did they think these were a good idea for branding names? Master Chief didn't die for this.
Are you an Xbox One? Series D stands for Dottie. So cute, so good. So many teraflops. These are your 2 teraflops. You flap in the wind. I got a dog.
I have friends and family that work at some of the many companies collected by Microsoft, and I do not think that they suck. Quite frankly, I think that they're the opposite of suck, which, as we all know, is coos. But Microsoft as a whole, in the big picture decisions and products and services they claim to provide.
Are you to be do joke onto me right now in front of my dog?
The company that tries to monopolize every possible realm it enters. The company that tries to force feed the worst internet browser ever down your throat, famous for its wonderful security flaws and general how you say not work so good too much. The company who is hell-bent on collecting other companies like Pokemon gym badges with the fervor of a spoiled child's on.
You know what's funny about Microsoft and Apple being the 2 biggest companies in the world? When Steve Jobs first came back to Apple, he was kicked out of the company, possibly for a good reason. Actually, definitely, he wasn't very good at the CEO at the time. He comes back to Apple, and Apple's near death, right? Apple's like, I don't know, months, maybe 1 year from bankruptcy, just dead. And he goes to Microsoft and basically tells them, hey, if we go under, the government's going to think you're a monopoly. So you need us to stay alive. And he gets Microsoft to invest like $180 million into Apple, which is how they were able to stay alive. And now Apple is bigger or as big as Microsoft. They're basically top two dogs. It's just funny. It is a funny story of how, you know, they literally threw pity money at Apple to keep them from dying so they could look like they had competition. It's like Google when I think they put money towards, what was that search company? DuckDuckGo, maybe. I think, yeah, something like that. It was one of those DuckDuckGo type things. Google did that to try and, so, hey, we have competition.
Quenchable, eternal, unyielding, infinite thirst for more. Give me more. Give me more. Shut up, Rick. World with Windows. I grew up on Windows PCs because my dad was always programming C# and C++ at the ops for work. So us kids would get the hand-me-down PCs. I drew on the Cougar wallpaper in Paint. I flicked the Space Pinball Guy's beam clean off.
That game.
I made the most badass edit.
Bro, military kid, early 2000s. You move to a new city every 2 years. You get there, the internet's not set up yet. All you have is this little fucking home computer, and you sit down offline and play fucking 3D pinball for 4 hours because you're bored and you don't want to do homework. Classic. Fucking classic.
Space Pinball Guy's beam clean off. I made the most badass edits of video games you've ever seen in Windows Movie Maker. And Windows has never been perfect. It has always been prone to blue screening and chugging and trying to off itself in various fun ways. XP was not this perfect, fucking ancient specimen to be studied in Prometheus just because we're all nostalgic for it, okay? And having LimeWire Pro installed definitely didn't help.
But now I also have this gaming laptop that has Windows 11 on it, and it makes me afraid to use it near 11 Windows because I might do a little toss out of it, huh?
Compared to even Windows 10, everything just feels like it takes longer to load and is harder to find. More and more options are getting buried deeper and deeper into these advanced menus in some half-baked attempt to make shit more accessible, but really, it's just made that shit more ass-edible. Hi, I'm 29. Copy and paste, the critical function that has been in this little menu since the beginning of Dinotopia Season 1. Yeah, they're cute little icons now. Aw, that's so adorable, I'm gonna throw up my lunch. Why does the refresh rate keep defaulting to 30 hertz? Most people don't even know what that is and aren't gonna know how to fucking change it because it's buried within these advanced menus.
This little bitch wants me to do updates every other second, and there doesn't seem to be an actual reliable way to disable automatic updates in Windows 11.
I tried disabling update services. I got all up in that registry. I moved to a cabin in the woods and somehow Michael found me. Stop it, Michael, I don't want to update. Windows Vista, holy shista. Windows 7 was a brief beacon of light, but everything since has been a cacophony of clown-inspired buffoonery scientifically engineered to be as optimally annoying to me as possible. Do we even need to talk about Windows 8? You want to click on some panels, little dude? You want me to get you a Windows Surface RT for your birthday, old man, which runs Windows RT, which looks exactly like Windows 8, except it's not. No, it's cool. You can only install apps directly from the store, and most of them aren't the right version. And dude, are you feeling okay, little man? You barely touched your panels.
Annoying.
Man, that guy's shirt looks cool as hell. Oh, god damn it, Clippy! I am the one who interrupts his videos, okay? Not you. Yeah, that's a good little paperclip. Roll up into your fucking bike. Fuck off. Hi, I'm Jakey, and Jakey, attorneys at law. Thanks to OperaGX for sponsoring this video.
Windows 8 should have bankrupted them. It was bad. It was admittedly bad. I'm not necessarily a Windows hater, but it has gotten worse. Although I feel the same about Chrome, dude. I was a recent Chrome lover into a Chrome hater once I tried Firefox. It's just crazy how making things faster is not a priority at Microsoft or Google anymore. Like they've forgotten what it's like. You know, speed and snappiness is so nice, and you kind of forget. Your brain gets used to the sludge.
Internet browsers are so cool, amazing. Emails, images, websites to research if there's a demonic presence in your home.
You're on Chrome right now? I have to be. I fucking have to be, dude. For the fucking stuff I do for stream, because that's what the thing is for the scene. But I don't want to be. I use Firefox for everything daily. I'll tell you that. I have Firefox open right now with all my fucking articles I was reading today.
Browser is putting me to sleep, and I really need to do that demonic research stuff. OperaGX is a web browser for gamers that is not boring and
you gave me that to fix. I need to be able to pull chat messages on screen, and that only works with the thing that auto made me for Chrome. So I have to use Chrome when I'm live.
You will listen this time, Duncan. I didn't forget, you little shit. Opera GX has GX mods that can totally switch your whole shit up. In the GX store, hurt my and cookies on over to Opera GX.
You can
it's
check
also
out Opera
compatible
GX
with every Google Chrome extension. Thanks to Opera GX for sponsoring this video, and use my special link down below to download Opera GX today. After my wife left, I've been receiving mysterious emails that only contain a singular link to a website written in Latin. And I clicked that link, and my life has not been the same. There is someone or something else in this house. I can't prove it, but you have to believe it. Speaking of internet browsers, do you remember that time when Microsoft was taken to court by the US government over antitrust claims that they were making it harder to install?
You guys probably don't. This is like when I was a kid. It's funny how tech billionaires kind of age in reverse. Like Bill Gates is old looking now, but he looks older here when he's like 38. Because they get so rich and they have so much. Like Jeff Bezos looks younger now than he did.
Install an alternative internet browser instead of their piece of shit Internet Explorer. And Microsoft doctored footage claiming that if you uninstalled Internet Explorer, it would make Windows run worse and slower. But the government was like, did you fake that? And they were like, yeah. And then they provided another video claiming how easy it was to install an alternative browser like Netscape. But whoops, that footage conveniently left out a really lengthy and difficult part of the installation process. And the government was like, did you fake that too? And they were like, yeah. I feel extremely fortunate that my daily work doesn't require
Yeah, it's fucked. I mean, you know, just to catch you up, I mean, the biggest browser in the world in the early days of the internet was Netscape Navigator. And then Microsoft came along and said, well, everybody uses Windows, so we're just going to make Internet Explorer the default and bundle it with everything. And it killed Netscape almost overnight. You know, they just muscled them out completely with their market power. And then the government was like, let's look into this. This looks like an antitrust problem, like your monopoly power abuse. They have this long, complicated trial, takes a while. Eventually, they find Microsoft guilty, but by then it's too late. Netscape is dead. So it's like, it doesn't matter, and Netscape dies. It's just a very funny situation.
Microsoft insert app name here that somehow gets worse with every iteration and doesn't do the things it's literally made to do. I wrote this script in Google Docs for free with 0 issues. See, Google, I love you. Please let me keep my career. Let's talk about Microsoft Teams. Another case where Microsoft looked at something that someone else did and said, oh, I could do that too because I have money. Slack was popping off. Microsoft said, oh, let's do that too, but make it worse and include it for free in our Microsoft 365 bundle that a lot of businesses are already paying.
Yeah, it's so fucked, dude. It's Slack. I mean, I don't care if Slack makes money or not. I'm not really big on it. But Slack had this great idea. It comes out. They start a company. It's successful. Companies are all buying it. They're all paying for Slack membership. I remember at Twitch we had Slack. At NVIDIA we had Slack. Then Microsoft shows up and they're like, hey, you're already paying for Microsoft 365. We're just going to include Teams in that and you can save money on your Slack. And so everybody did. All the companies cost cut, and then you had to use Teams. And so like overnight, Slack went, you know, their valuation got way worse, and people still use it. It's like enough better than Teams that they still have some money, but it is funny how like these gigantic bundles from these megacorps can like shove out any, if you made your own individual, like say you made a version of Excel that's better, it's hard to win because the companies have to pay for the whole thing, right? If you can't offer all of this, they don't want to just buy yours separate.
Paying for. Obviously, those businesses trying to maximize profits are going to be like, why are we paying for Slack and Teams? Let's just use Teams. Slack usage goes down, they get acquired by Salesforce, and then what do you know? Microsoft eventually removes Teams from the bundle after antitrust scrutiny in the EU. God, that's like the definition of it's like the name of a board game. Yahtzee, Balderdash. Oh, I got it.
Betrayal at House on the Hill.
Okay, but what really gets my panties into a honey bunch of oats is Microsoft's approach when it comes to gaming on my Roach. Roach as in my PC. Most of us use Windows to game because it's what most games natively run on and have run on for like a billion years, making Windows this necessary evil that's been grandfathered in by our forefathers getting multi-kills on Quake. Which is fortunately changing with stuff like Linux and Proton. Shout out Valve and my Bellatra, my Steam Deck, but every half-baked attempt Microsoft has made to capitalize on that massive existing gaming audience on Windows has only pushed that audience further away toward other avenues that actually work, namely Steam. I played Halo 2 for Windows Vista. I played Dark Souls Prepare to Use Games for Windows Live Edition, okay? Maybe you've heard about how bad Games for Windows Live was, and let me tell you, people are not exaggerating. The infinite logging in loops, the crashes, the absolutely iconic Microsoft trait of apparently needing an update, but I guess it didn't actually update, so it's just stuck in this infinite loop. That's where they got the name. The modern Xbox app on PC is marginally better, and I actually have some positive stuff to say about Game Pass later on, but this app still just doesn't work how it should, and half the time it has to be used in conjunction with the Microsoft Store app. Oh, golly gee. And now you're claiming Minecraft isn't even installed. All I want to do is play with my nephew. He's 8 years old and it works perfectly on his iPad. How is it this fucking... Fuck it, we'll do it live. I'm playing on my phone. Like, if video games are practically my job and I struggle to troubleshoot this shit, what the fuck do you expect like a casual grandma gamer to do on PC? No offense to my CGGs out there, okay?
Steam is far and above the preferred gaming platform on PC for most because it has that Apple trait of
it just
works for the most part.
Everything is located in one app that intuitively makes sense to navigate regardless of your Radio Shack ELO. Xbox on PC mirrors the same.
I get annoyed. I think in general, I don't like when tech companies who are trying to compete with established player feel the need to reinvent the good parts. Specifically things like the UI. Like, it's so odd to me that Epic Games was like, we're going to compete with Steam. Just copy the UI. They don't own it. You can copy it. Just copy it directly. If you're going to compete on prices or just steal the good parts and it'll be easy to transition. If it looks the same, you're making it harder on yourself. Yeah. You know what? Here's a great example. Fucking Kick did the right thing. I know I said that. That's a rare thing to say. Kick did the right thing. Of all of the Twitch competitors that have existed, Kick said, you know what? We're just going to steal the UI. And you know what? That's smart. Because then when someone else is trying to use the website, they're like, oh, I intuitively understand it. There's no copyright on it, bro. That was the smartest thing Kick did. And remember fucking Mixer's dog shit UI? YouTube Live, impossible to find to stream. You can't browse it. It's smart. Just steal it. Now, Kick sucks for a variety of other reasons, but that part is not their weakness. That is not the problem with Kick.
Same pattern as Xbox on Xbox, and that pattern is the AK spray pattern from Counter-Strike aimed directly at their own football.
And all that, oh, by the way, I mean, like, here's another example. You know that, like, IG Reels and all that stuff, it came from Snapchat first. There's so many things that Snapchat invented, and Zuckerberg is smart enough to say, like, any part of that that's not copyrighted, we're just gonna steal. And it's like, listen, I'll make fun of it. I'll do a marketing money making fun of it. From a business POV, that shit worked. They just took the good, and like, some people on Twitter got mad. Some people noticed it and made fun of it. And then flash forward 8 months, nobody knows. Everyone moves on. They just fucking, it just works. It's another thing. Dude, every company that's trying to like take down Twitter, like Threads and everything else, why the fuck are they like, Threads kind of did it, but they had other problems. But like Blue Sky and everything, just steal it. Just make it look exactly like Twitter. And then remove the fucking Elon Musk part. Take out the fucking insane, just yoink it. Blue Sky looks good? Yeah, I guess Blue Sky's the closest one. I was thinking more of like Mastodon and stuff, all those fucking competitors that like, they made it so much extra layers of complication. And I'm like, just don't wait, nobody fucking wants that. Blue Sky kind of gets it, but it still needs the people, so.
I love Xbox. That's probably not the sentiment you're gonna walk away from this video with, but I have owned several. I've had the pleasure of many Xboxes and I loved them. But holy shit, Xbox has been scoring own goals for a while now, and it's extremely frustrating to spectate from the Rocket League stands. Xbox was the new kid on the block during the 6th generation and still managed to outsell the GameCube and Dreamcast, as adorable as they both are. And do you know the biggest reason why? I mean, do I even gotta say? It was the big ass, it was the Duke, baby. Halo gave people a strong enough reason to buy an Xbox, and that's one game. Arguably the greatest console FPS game of all time, and holy shit, now I can play Halo Online with Halo 2 for a fee, which honestly, fuck Microsoft for that, but whatever. And thanks to Halo, Xbox would cultivate a solid base of gamers interested in more mature, cutting-edge PC-type games like Knights of the Old Republic, Fable, Splinter Cell, time-traveling cat fantasy, a home console that can run PC games without shitting itself. Sorry, PS2. Xbox is showing that they got something to say in the living room too. And then we get to the Xbox 360 era. Xbox came out swinging, launching their console a full year before Sony in November 2005 with a solid lineup of launch titles, but mostly Call of Duty 2. I remember playing this game in the Rushmore Mall in Rapid City, South Dakota, and just being absolutely blown away by how realistic the graphics looked in this opening scene. Even though now the lack of ray tracing in DLSS seriously makes me want to scream as loud as I can.
Amen, brother!
And what's this? The
Amen.
Xbox gets another killer IP called Gears of War right as the PS3 launches a year later?
The PS3 and its $599 enemy crab. I don't want to play any of these games. The PS3 was more expensive. It had the confusing cell architecture that devs hated programming for and generally made multi-platform games run worse. It used the Spider-Man 3 font.
It did.
It had 6-axis motion in the controllers, but no vibration because of a legal issue. Well, what do you expect me to pleasure myself with now, Sony? Well, one of these. The 360 in 2007 had monumental games like Halo 3 that you actually wanted to play. Even though OG 360s would eventually start red ringing of death in themselves with a failure rate of 54%, which, Jesus Christ, only Michael could manage that shit. 360 at the time was the console to get. But even with all of this stacked against the PS3, it arguably ended up back on top by the end of the generation because Microsoft just had to be Microsoft.
I mean, if we're being real,
The fucking Kinect.
shitted on both of them when it comes to sales, but we're not talking about that right now.
The PS3 had a really rocky start, but said, all right, fuck all that. Let's hit a rebrand and a price drop. Let's do actually funny marketing with Kevin Butler. Let's bring back vibration with the DualShock 3. I know that's right. That's gonna feel good. But more important than any of this shit, let's do the PlayStation thing of having consistently high quality console selling exclusives. Metal Gear Solid 4, Little Big Planet, Uncharted 2, God of War 3, Jason Shawn! Maybe not that last one. Fuck it, that last one. Where my David Cagers at in the chat? Let's all go get Detroit tattoos. Meanwhile, the 360 is like, here's another Halo.
Awesome.
And here's another Gears of War.
Right on. I like that too.
And this time the console won't try to blow itself up. And please buy a Kinect. Beyond the two souls of Halo and Gears of War, shout out motherfucking David motherfucking Cage, there weren't these massive, never before seen Uncharted 2 sized exclusives getting you to race out and buy an Xbox as the generation went on. Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts? Blue Dragon? Forza? I love Forza. I've always loved the Forza series, but I also love Gran Turismo. Also, I really don't want to come off as biased for any of these brands because fuck console wars. The whole idea of being loyal to a brand that doesn't give a shit about you is like the most embarrassing shit ever. Both of these guys would cut your head off in a second if it made their quarterly earnings.
He's not talking about me though. Like obviously I get on YouTube comments and Twitter and I tell Sony shills to kill themselves, but like he's talking about the other guys. He's talking about, because they're losers and they take it too seriously, but I'm like, do you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of like cool about how I do it. NVIDIA though, well, that's different. For PC, that's different.
Go up. Stop pre-ordering games. They only care about your money. Only pre-order David Cage games. At the end of the day, everybody just wants to make money, including me, which is why Ball Creative partnered with those jakey fucks to make some high quality garments. T-shirt featuring brilliant illustration by my cousin John. Thank you, John.
This is a second ad read for his own merch.
LA Apparel 6.5 heavy blanks. That might not mean anything to you, but they're like my favorite blank of T-shirt. Turned out great. Call My Lawyer's embroidered crew neck. That's right, embroidered. Also printed on LA Apparel heavyweight blanks. If you know, you got like the rom-com merch, it's that shit. It's that heavy, delicious. They turn out great. If you're interested, ballcreative.store, powered by Xbox One Series J, attorneys at law, Master Chief Edition. Let's get back to the shit. I loved my Xbox 360, okay? But let's be real. Exclusives like Viva Pinata and Halo Wars don't exactly sell consoles like The Last of Us does.
See, the thing that Microsoft
I fucking hate Halo Wars, dude. Halo Wars having their villain being named ATRIOC has fucked me up for years now. Years. I'm not a Halo Wars fan, dude. I did not pick my fucking name based on Halo Wars. I've had the name ATRIOC well before that game ever fucking existed. What about LOL and ATROX? ATROX is different enough, but people have said that to me too.
would look at all this and go, okay, It seems like having really high quality exclusive games is pretty crucial to selling console to then play said games.
So with that said, here's a fugly ass media box you can watch stuff on. That's what you think of when you think of Xbox, right? Not the fucking Melee Covenant sound, but the watching the Price is Right? Also, it's gonna require the Kinect to be plugged in at all times, and you can't share game discs anymore with your friends. And oh yeah, we're gonna call it the Xbox One to confuse the shit out of the CTGs out there. Sorry, Nana, your KD is fucked, you senile silver too. Xbox would go back on the can't share discs thing and the Kinect always having to be plugged in because people rightfully lose their shit. But Microsoft still launches Xbone forcefully bundled with Kinect in November 2013 for $499.
Okay, so what exclusives have you cooked up, Microsoft?
Another Forza? Okay, I like Forza, so what's coming in like the next year? Oh, more Halo by 343. Oh, it's the OG games remastered with like multiplayer playlists. Oh, that's really cool. Okay, that has my attention. Oh, it doesn't work? It like really doesn't work? Your flagship franchise used to sell consoles doesn't fucking work even when it's old games being repackaged? Just imagine for a second if Nintendo released a Mario game and he just couldn't jump. He just spent the whole game looking for a server to not jump on. Whether it's on 343 or Microsoft, and I strongly lean towards it being on Daddy Microsoft, you can't release your main shit and have it be this bad. And I don't care that the collection is great now, that trash was unacceptable. Phil Spencer would become head of Xbox in March of 2014 and inherit the shit show that was the Xbox One. And Phil made some great decisions given what he was handed. He deleted the Kinect from the console bundle and dropped the price down to $399. He made a huge push for backwards compatibility, which is amazing to this day that you can play like OG Xbox games at higher resolutions and frame rates. It's awesome.
He hit a console redesign with the Xbox One S, which even though I hate the names for these things, I really love this console. It's really hard. I really love this console. I think she's very well built. I think she's adorable. I mean, obviously she withstood that. We got some ports.
But his main big idea is Game Pass. Phil said, Xbox isn't just a box anymore, you silly bastards. It's a games service. A monthly service to play a bunch of games to your heart's desire, sort of like a Netflix for games, except your ex-girlfriend's boyfriend isn't still using your login on his Roku TV. It became increasingly clear that Xbox wasn't planning on winning customers by having console exclusives. Seriously, this is the Wikipedia page for games exclusive to only the Xbox One for the entire generation.
Meanwhile, PS4 is like
Double kill. Triple kill. Overkill. Bloodborne again because I bought a PS4 just to play that game and it was worth the $400.
Microsoft started doing the whole Xbox plus PC thing where any exclusive Xbox game would also be on PC. Well, apparently except certain games like Halo 5. They needed that one to be a system seller. Halo 5, Guardians, oh man, the campaign just sucks, and I really think that 343 is a really talented team, but they just fully missed the bar aesthetically when it comes to Halo 4 and 5. The multiplayer, while it didn't really feel like Halo, it felt really fresh and new and snappy, and you have the dodge move, and I actually played the shit out of it, but like,
bro, this is Halo. This is supposed to be the exclusive. It can't just be or an underrated gem talked about years later by video essayist fucks like me.
Again, imagine if Nintendo made a Mario game and he had to run around the castle in this fug-ass armor. Xbox does pretty bad this generation, all said and done, but let's wipe away all that. Fresh restart. What do we have prepared for next gen, Phil?
Do I remember that? We watched this live. We watched this reveal live. Ah, the fridge. Xbox Series X is just a stupid name.
Why do you do this,
Such a
Microsoft?
stupid name.
Why do you insist on having the most confusing branding possible? Why couldn't you even just stick with Xbox Scarlet or call it Xbox 720 like everyone wanted to? Fuck it. Call it the Xbox 5 even though it doesn't make sense because at least people at the store will see PS5, oh, Xbox 5. That must mean it's the new one. There are people still confused on whether they should buy an Xbox One S or an Xbox Series S. And also, you realize how phonetically similar S and X sound, right, Michael? The Series consoles are actually amazing deals for their price points and are really well made, and I actually prefer the Xbox controller over any other controller when playing modern games. But holy shit, Microsoft, you are so
is a nice
bad
controller.
at marketing. Okay, f the names. Who even cares? What kind of games do we have cooking up for this generation, Phil? Halo Infinite is going to be a launch title, and it's open world, and there's a grappling hook? This actually looks fun as hell. I can't wait to try it out.
Yikes.
Wait, but it's on the back of my box. And the thing is, when Infinite finally came out, I thought it was really good, and I'm sure it definitely needed that extra year of development time, considering that when it came out, it was still missing core features like co-op. But the multiplayer is some of the best it has ever been, and it's free. The new abilities and grappling hook are amazing. The open world campaign scale and length are
where did we land in Halo Infinite? I didn't play it, but it felt like it just came and went. I think we played the beta or something. I remember playing it on stream, but briefly. It's pretty good. It's okay. Rush multiplayer, good but no content. Fun but nothing special. Yeah, it seemed like it didn't break any minds, but it was solid.
Of a letdown, but the actual gameplay and visuals and sound truly feel like Halo for the first time in years. I played the shit out of this on my PC that I already own using Steam. Like many PC gamers, I've already invested so much time and money into my Steam library, so if I'm gonna play something on PC, I'm likely gonna seek it out in my familiar ecosystem, habitat, enclosure, if you will. PS5 launches with exclusive games that I wanna play, and promise sequels to IPs that I wanna play. So if I already have a PC, and I'm gonna drop $400 on a console, and Xbox is putting their games on Steam.
Well, what's cool is Sony's putting a lot of stuff on PC now too. PC gamers been eating good. I will say that. For PC, you can get almost everything. Plus, you get more indie games. At this point, like if you're a legitimate, I don't know, legitimate's the wrong word. I don't know, as hardcore, serious, whatever the word is for like maybe degenerate gamer. And you're not on PC. Like before, back in the day, you could have a serious argument that like console versus PC, but now I think it's impossible. I think it's impossible to just be an only console gamer and like not be casual almost at this point. You have to have too many friends to be a console only gamer. Just because everything's PC.
Where exactly does Xbox come into this picture? Are they just like a publisher now? You'd think they'd want to put really desirable exclusives only on Xbox services to try to get people to buy an Xbox over a PS5, or at least use the shitty Xbox app over Steam, but no, instead, what does Xbox do? Buy that too! Microsoft will acquire you! We don't need to make good games, we have so much money! We have so much fucking money! Mojang, 2.5 billion, ZeniMax, 7.5 billion, Activision, Blizzard King, 69 billion! Shutting down studios and laying off a ton of devs, even though the FTC said, hey, don't do that after you acquired this whole thing. Priceless! But there is a price. The price is right. Watch it on Xbox all night. Keep it tight. I'm so...
That's a fire segment. That is a fire segment. That really summed it up. He did a great job. What was that, 18 seconds? And it got everything across. The FTC should have played that in the fucking courtroom.
Confused by this strategy, because it's like you own all these popular IPs now, but you don't want to make them exclusive and miss out on the massive multi-platform revenue because Xbox is like the smallest consumer base. So eventually these IPs might become exclusive, and inevitably Microsoft being Microsoft would jack up the price of Game Pass because, again, $69 billion. And again, this is Microsoft we're talking about. Remember the Windows Vista September? Oh, the price of Game Pass already increased after Microsoft spent so much fucking money to put games like Diablo and Call of Duty on there. Cool, got it, awesome, wicked, sick. But even with this current price, Game Pass remains a...
Yo, right now, literally right now, didn't Call of Duty Black Ops 6 just come out on Game Pass? I need to watch that. I was supposed to watch this. I need to, it's like a big moment. This is their first, like, there's a lot at stake. Black Ops 6, Game Pass. The game definitely sold very well. Yeah, I don't know. The worst thing for them would be if it doesn't sell Game Pass subscriptions, because that is like the whole strategic goal.
A really convincing deal if you're just now getting into gaming, because there is a serious bang for your buck backlog of great games on there. But that's just not the case for so much of the existing gaming audience. Dude, we've played a lot of these games, and you're not gonna get new people who have never played these games if they don't even know which fucking console to buy at Best Buy. Phil Spencer has said a lot of things, and there is no shortage of quotes that you could take out of context that are really clickbaity, like how he passed up on super successful franchises like Guitar Hero or Destiny, or how his email dream is to one day acquire Nintendo. He seems like a nice enough guy who does genuinely love video games and making them as accessible to as many people as possible, which is fantastic. I mean,
I've listened to a lot of Phil Spencer talk. The only game where I truly believe that he fucking loves it is Destiny. I fully believe, like the way Elon Musk plays Diablo, Phil Spencer's a Destiny addict like a lot of you. True Destiny addict. But everything else, I'm not 100. I don't know that the light's in his eyes on it, but 100% with Destiny.
he's still likely a multi-millionaire who's got to keep his job regardless of Xbox's missteps, while others did not get to keep their jobs, and certain studios are just straight up in the ground now because, whoops, we spent too much money acquiring you, now we will be firing you. And one of the many quotes that Phil has said is, "We're not in the business of out-consoling Sony or out-consoling Nintendo. There isn't really a great solution or win for us. I know that will upset a ton of people, but it's just the truth of the matter. When you're third place in the console marketplace and the top two players are as strong as they are, and in certain cases have very discrete focus on doing deals and other things, make being on Xbox hard as a team. That's on us, not on anybody else. Our vision is that everybody that's on console has to feel like they have a great experience and they're a first-class citizen. They've invested a ton in our platform. I see commentary that if you just build great games, everything would turn around. It's just not true that if we go off and build great games, all of a sudden you're going to see console shares shift in some dramatic way. We lost the worst generation to lose in the Xbox One generation."
Try it. Try it. You know what? Try it. You might prove yourself wrong. Is he going to say this? Anyway, what else I wanted to say was, I think my understanding is this quote came...
It's just...
I hope Nikki doesn't mention this part because then I'm really fucked. But this quote was around when they were trying to acquire Blizzard. This is when they kept talking about how we're the poor third place. They used the word third place a lot because they were trying to like play up the fact that we're not a monopoly. We're not throwing our money around. They kept playing up, we're so small and weak and sorry, and boy, this is a hard console industry it's a rough world to make it. This was all like, yeah, targeted towards the FTC.
I see commentary that if you just build great games, everything would turn around. It's just not true that if we go off and build great games, all of a sudden you're going to see console shares shift. It's
just funny. I mean, Microsoft is, at least in this generation, losing pretty handily. PS5 is outselling by 2 to 1, if not more. And then the Switch, if you still count it as this generation, which is not really, but it hasn't stopped selling. The Switch sold like a fucking hotcakes. It's doing amazing. So Xbox is definitely struggling. I think good games could change that. I mean, great exclusives have always changed that. That's how Xbox existed. But wait, what I'm going to say is that, you know, Microsoft as a company, even if they're not dominating the console sales, Microsoft as a company is so much bigger than both of those two companies combined. Sony plus Nintendo times 10 is not Microsoft. Do you know what I'm saying? It's so much bigger. It's so much bigger. So it's weird to ask like your little small bean.
Some dramatic way. We lost the worst generation to lose in the Xbox One generation when everybody built their digital library of games. Phil, I strongly disagree. Not about the Xbox One failing part. That one is for sure facts, but the other games part. The games are the whole freaking thing. It's why I'm screaming at a camera right now while Halo music plays, because you made a good game that literally sold consoles with zero prior brand recognition. The Switch is an underpowered 720p looking ass piece of shit tablet that still obliterates Sony and Microsoft when it comes to sales, because you know why? The moving pictures that I control with my hands. Every new Nintendo console requires you to say bye-bye to your prior digital full library of games you've purchased. But guess what? We all fucking do it anyways because we gotta see that boy in red. Xbox is a Microsoft company that has proved time and time again that they don't give a shit about polish or consistency or trust with their consumers. So it's like, yeah, you might be in a hole, but you didn't magically get there overnight, Shia LaBeouf. There's a reason I still pay for Max or Hulu, or my ex-girlfriend's boyfriend does, and I use their login on my Roku TV. I pay for Hulu to watch exclusive shows like The Bear. I pay for Max to watch exclusive shows like Barry for the billionth time. I don't pay for Game Pass or use the Xbox app to play Starfield. I don't play Starfield on Steam either. I don't want to play any more Starfield. Please don't make me play more Starfield. Todd, I love you and I want Elder Scrolls to be good and I believe in you, but don't make me play Starfield. I truly hope Xbox continues to exist and Game Pass remains a good deal for as long as possible. I hope studios like Bethesda and Blizzard put out more classics while under the umbrella of Xbox, even though other studios will no longer ever get that chance because they're literally dead. We need good games on Xbox and Xbox Game Pass because we need good competition. But what we really need is to put every David Cage game on Game Pass. David Cage's Rise Up. Thank you for watching my video. Ball Creative Game Pass subscriptions available at ballcreative.store. Dottie says she wants you to put a chicken treat in the chat or she will scream as loud as she can. Keep it up. Keep it hard. Keep it strong and keep it scarred. I will see you next time.
He's got bars. Agree. It's kind of frustrating to see Microsoft fumble with so much money. So infinite resources and they're just used kind of poorly.